Football fanatics, get ready. The United Stand pre-season tour is here, powered by One Football, the ultimate app for live scores, transfers and match stats. Download now. No one gets you closer.
Anyway, let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo for a minute. We'll come back to that poll, which is live for you. We'll give it a few minutes. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way. Got lots to get into on the show today. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo, because this, to me, is the most significant update of everything. Reports coming out. Manchester United, I think, have put an article out themselves saying that they'll be without Kobbie Mainoo for the first portion of the season. Manchester Evening News saying it's feared it could be up to 2 months. This is exactly what we didn't want when we saw him going off in the first few minutes against Real Madrid the other night. Welcome to the Members Club, who absolutely devastating. And I think that it's just the typical bad side of football. And look, thankfully it's not a knee injury or anything like that. A 2-month injury is bad, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, if you think about Eriksen's ankle injury, that was 4 months. So 2 months is on the good side of a bad injury, but the significance of the timing of it is really, really horrible, because he had momentum. He was starting against Real Madrid, and who knows what games he would have been involved in the first 2 months of the season. He's now going to get back from injury, get back fit, get the momentum back, by which time everybody else's momentum... Like, the first 2 months of the season are very important for your rhythm and your consistency. He will be 2 months behind everybody else now. So it's a major blow. These things do happen. You've got to roll with the punches, certainly, and I think the positive for Mainoo is that he was right knocking on the door of the first team, and there's no reason why he can't be doing that again by Christmas. It's a blow, but these things do happen. It could have been worse. Obviously, it could have been a lot better if he'd never got injured in the first place. But I think he's done enough already over the last year under Erik Ten Hag to show what a talent he is. And obviously, we wish him all the best with the recovery. And it's our loss. It's his loss, but it's our loss as well. And that just shows you the potential of the player. Hi, Mark. I'm starting to get the feeling that United thought I was joking when I bought the authentic version of the away shirt, as it still hasn't arrived. Bought it on Monday. Love the show, says Horn. Watching you... I don't know what you're talking about, John. Not interested in any of that. It will be same player. Look, I'm not talking about what went wrong yesterday, because you haven't got a bloody clue what went on yesterday. So I can apologise for everybody who tried to watch it on the live chat. I was told I was going to get to play a lot of that game. Literally, it was just a joke. It was the way it was run was a joke in relation to game time. It was jobs for the boys, and yeah, ultimately, I apologise for everybody who watched for it, but we'll probably end up setting our own up, I think, to put things right. I will be the same problem next year when back from loan, and over 50% says he stays, he should, says Thomas. No, that's not how it works, Thomas. We'll come to the poll in a minute, and I'll explain you how polls work. Maybe those in power were kicking the decision down the road all the time in the hope it would be someone else's decision if the sale was announced, says Glenny Boy. That's in relation to Mason Greenwood, yes. Just on Mainoo, it was a very interesting day yesterday, wasn't it, around transfers. I want to get into that, what's going on with Højlund, because something could happen with that today. I want to talk about the sort of Maguire, Fred, Donny, McTominay thing. But interesting day yesterday, because obviously Scott McTominay is still a target for West Ham, who have been quoted a price of close to 40 million quid for Scott McTominay. I don't think McTominay's going to go. I've never thought he's going to go. I was speaking to some people yesterday, and they were like, I quite like him as a squad player. And the name John O'Shea was mentioned, and I was like, that is disrespectful to John O'Shea. Comparing Scott McTominay to John O'Shea is just disrespectful. So I can see Scott McTominay staying. He's well liked around the club. Ten Hag likes him. But I'll just keep saying what I said before, and I'd say it to Erik Ten Hag's face. If you don't sell Scott McTominay this summer to West Ham for 30 million, how much do you think you're ever going to get for him? You'll never get 30 million again. And do you think he's going to be a first-team player for Man United in the future? No. So you're basically inflicting Scott McTominay on this team for the next 3 or 4 years as his value depreciates. It's the perfect time. If Scott McTominay was a share, and you've been monitoring that share price all its life, and you're monitoring its future, now's the time to sell. He is at the peak of his price. And if we don't cash in, we will not achieve that price again, in my opinion, because I don't see him playing enough football. But I think he will stay. I think the injury to Mainoo means that United will think they're short in the midfield. And obviously with Fred and Donny likely to leave, I think McTominay will survive. So I really think the McTominay talk is probably redundant now. I'm sort of at the point now where I read interest from West Ham, etc. And I just think he's not going to go. Not with the Mainoo injury, not with Fred and Donny potentially going. I think McTominay will survive. It's interesting if he does survive, because if we bring Amrabat in and you've got Casemiro and you've got Eriksen and you've got Mount and you've got Bruno, I don't really see where McTominay plays, because all those players would be ahead of him, but I suppose he'd be one of 6. It's 5:20 in the morning here in the US. I'm in an Uber and got you on the Bluetooth, Mark. For the people in the back, keep up the great work, says Greg. Great, thank you, Greg. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're doing well.